Hello? 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 Anybody hear it? Hello? Got 1 like so far, but 0 here, man. I don't know. We got 1 here and 1 like, man. Hello, hello. How we doing today? How we doing? How are we doing? We have a lot to cover tonight. So let's see who comes in, talks first, man. Who's it going to be? Who's going to talk first? We already had the person who came in and took away the like button because they're Indian givers, man. That's what they are. They're Indian givers. I don't know.
Wait, if you were locked up in Illinois, Cook County,
the radio mode up.
body home or anywhere else in the system.
The radio mode up.
Yeah. That's weird. It's so weird. What's going on? Man, technology. Oh, technology. Technology. Let's see, we gotta go, gotta see what's going on there, man. Part of law. It is. It's part of law. It is part of law. Because, it should be working. I don't know why it's... There we go. Now we are connected. We are law, people. We're law. Alright, so let's see. We gotta go back to the video. Okay. We get back to the video. Hopefully it works now. It should.
This is the money glitch that's...
The tariffs being argued before the Supreme Court right now, and I'm giving you a window into those proceedings. It'll be a while before they finally hand down their decision, but this is the arguments made. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are.
Harley, let's go. I gotta get you all see, man. There's only 3 y'all here. Oh boy, where is everybody at tonight? There you go. There we go.
Says this is the #1 issue. United States ending issue is his ability to conduct his tariffs. Here's Amy Coney Barrett.
And then if it'd be a complete mess. I mean, you're saying before the government promised reimbursement, and now you're saying we know, oh, well, that's rich, but how would this work? It seems to me like it could be a mess.
So the first thing I'd say is that just underscores just how major a question this is. The very fact that you were dealing with this with quotas, there's no refund process to the tunes of billions of dollars or embargoes, but there is here. But for our case, the way it would work is, in this case, the government stipulated for the 5 plaintiffs that they would get the refunds. So for us, that's how it would work. Your question, I take it, is about everyone else. We don't have a class action or anything like that. With respect to everyone else, there's a whole specialized body of trade law, and it, in 19 U.S.A. 1514 outlines all these administrative procedures. It's a very complicated thing. There's got to be an administrative protest. There was a harbor management case earlier that this court was involved with in the United States Shoe, in which
this guy is arguing against Trump's tariffs. And then he stands before Amy Coney Barrett, makes his case, and they have a discussion. But the biggest problem with this discussion is if the tariffs get overturned, there's going to be a lot of money that we have to refund. So the argument is, how messy is it? He's actually thinks he's making the case to Amy Coney Barrett, but he's naming all these laws and all these things. It's going to be incredibly complicated, which I think goes in Trump's favor.
You know, the refund process took a long time. There were any number of claims and equitable relief.
So a mess.
So it's difficult,
okay.
Absolutely. We don't deny that it's difficult, but I think what this court has said in the McKesson case in 1990 is that serious economic dislocation isn't a reason to do something. Northern Pipeline, you guys stayed your decision for a while. There may be a congressional process here as well. You may be able to also be that this court could limit its decision to prospective relief under the John Q. Hammons case. So there's lots of possibilities.
So he's saying they wouldn't, even then, he's not pushing for a case that would be all-inclusive. It would be kind of local just for that case. Still, it would be a complete disaster for Trump. We'll get to more Supreme Court shenanigans, lots on the Supreme Court in this episode. But first, a word from our sponsor, Chapter. Medical enrollment is right now. And I don't blame you for being confused, whether if you even know how to sign up. I'm only 59 years old, but I'm getting there. Pretty soon, this is going to be me having to make that call. And some of you don't know if you have the best plan. And I'm just a simple artist. I think it's very confusing. I do comic books, so I'm going to need help navigating those confusing waters. You need help from someone that you can trust and who I trust. And I'm proud to have you call the Doug in Exile Show sponsor, Chapter, at 631-961-8696. Today is the day. You guys will be a huge help to this show if you just call Chapter. Tell them Doug in Exile sent you. Chapter compares thousands of Medicare plans, and everyone who's called, you've all told me they've either saved you money, they've increased your coverage, or told you that you already to hold tight because you already have the best plan. And now you can sleep knowing, I've got the best, according to the experts at Chapter. This isn't magic, though. It's a system I trust, but as in not magic, that phone number does not dial itself. So I need you guys to show your support and get a little help with something that I know is intimidating, but Chapter makes Medicare something easy. They go to bat for you. So that phone number is 631-961-8696. And the phone number, it's the first pinned comment below and in the description, 631-961-8696. We're going to get right in the middle of Gorsuch arguing with John Sauer, who is Trump's big attorney against Jack Smith. And he's defending Trump's tariffs.
Let's jump right into it. We're going to go ahead and play Speedy Checkout.
Tariffs to Gorsuch.
Through those words, I think you're saying that no, the president doesn't have inherent authority over tariffs in peacetime.
Absolutely. That is, we do not assert that. We say that Congress can delegate that to him, and when Congress does so, as it does when it uses the phrase regulated importation.
I follow all of that.
He sounds like RFK Jr.
Okay. You emphasize that Congress can always take back its powers. You mentioned that a couple of times. But don't we have a serious retrieval problem here? Because once Congress delegates by a bare majority,
man, none of y'all here are
any president will sign a law that gives him
I know you're
authority.
the turns, man.
Congress can't take that back without a supermajority. And even that, it's going to be veto proof. What president's ever going to give that power back pretty rare precedent. So how should that inform our view of delegations and major questions?
So that's a reasonable argument. He wants to really maintain the power of Congress as a separate power, co-equal power to the presidency.
The balance that Congress struck, because what Congress did initially, it had a 2-house legislative veto.
And we struck that down.
And then Congress went back to the statute and amended it. Yeah. It took out the legislative veto and left in the joint resolution, but still left the president with all those powers.
That's what Congress did. Fair enough. As a practical matter, in the real world, it can never get that power back.
I disagree, because in January 2023, Congress voted to terminate one of the biggest IEPA emergencies ever, the COVID. There's going to be the ability for a sort of political consensus against a declared emergency.
Well, what happens when the president simply vetoes legislation to try to take these powers
That's
back?
his job.
Well, he has the authority to veto legislation to terminate a national emergency, for example. I mean, he retains the powers in the background because IEPA is still on the books. But if he declares an emergency and Congress doesn't like it and passes a joint resolution, yes, he can absolutely veto that.
Yeah, Congress, as a practical matter, can't get this power back once it's handed it over to the president. It's a one-way ratchet toward the gradual but continual accretion of power in the executive branch away from the people's elected representatives.
I disagree with that, and the recent historical counterexample of Congress's termination of the COVID emergency demonstrates that the political oversight
with the president's assent.
Meaningful.
Okay, that's a fair point that Gorsuch is making. This also exposes why Trump had to make the tariffs a national emergency, a security emergency, because John Sauer is saying he's not trying to get it permanently. He's saying it's an emergency, and he has some authority on that. We're going to get to more Supreme Court, but first I wanted to show you Tom Tuberville supporting Trump's support of removing the filibuster.
Okay, if we need to bust it, let's bust it. Let's knock it down to 51 and let the Senate know that, listen, the power of the country, it's going to be over with. And so
that's a fact. Tuberville gets it. John Kennedy is not going for it. Mike Johnson's not going for it. Thune's not going for it. This is what's at stake. People are going like, we have to preserve the filibuster and the tradition of the country. Your country's gone. Your country's gone if Trump can't overturn that filibuster. That's what Trump is really worried about. This isn't just selfishness. I'm telling you, he gets the battle at hand. And the battle at hand is the Democrats are going to impeach him if they don't start getting his agenda done through the filibuster.